Hello YouTube, this is Charlie426, and today we have the review of the 1/72 scale HG Big Tony from the Sakugan anime. Now, the Sakugan anime was definitely an interesting way because the way how they did their advertisements were kind of odd. They showed the mech out first, and then later they announced the anime, and then they announced the HG kit, and after not so far off, they actually announced a Robot Damashi version. I haven't seen any product that would get pushed that fast, so yeah. So the anime is currently on episode 4, I believe, and it's a pretty interesting anime. While this mech is the main character's mech, but it's not, the anime story-wise, it's not your typical, mech battle-ish going on here. It's more of a adventure using this mech style anime. I'm not going to talk about the story too much because I would consider that to be a spoiler. So yeah. Anyway, so once they announced the HG kit, I was pretty excited because I was enjoying the anime, and definitely this was an interesting mech because it's not really a mech meant for combat, but mostly meant for certain adventure-ish going on here. So that definitely piqued my attention, which is why I got this. Now, price-wise, it was definitely a little bit on the expensive side, but still, I think it's okay. I mean, it could be a little bit cheaper, but still, oh well. It is what it is. Alright, so let's go over its components. So first of all, what you get, of course, is obviously the Big Tony mech itself. It's definitely looking cool. I like the design. The proportions may not be favorable to everybody, but still, I think it has its own cool, unique aspects. And in the Sakugan anime, there are more mechs like this, so I'm hoping that they will release more. And then here we have equipment wise. So equipment wise, for the hands you have two options. You can use either the claw arm like this one. You have the claw arm right over here, so you can open up and close down the claws, or you can use the drill arm like this, or drill hand. So currently I'm using one each on each side, so really up to you to choose whichever you want to do so. And as you can see, the claws can open and close like this. Of course, they have some limitations when it's actually on the arm. It can't really go out fully, if I remember correctly. And then this is as far as you can go with meeting each other of the claw. But if you want to, you can somehow do this if you want to do so. Alright, so we got those out of the way. So here we have a face mask. So in the anime, when the mech when it pulls out its drill and then trying to go underground or try to dig under, it would pull out this mask. Which I would assume it protects the eye lens or camera. So yeah, I'll be demonstrating this later. It's a very simple connection, and then here these gold sections or the gold eyes are stickers. And then here we have some extra headlights. Now, I can't remember if these were actually used in the mech form, but this Big Tony actually has a vehicle form, and this is actually meant for the vehicle form. So this part where it's supposed to go is, let's hope I can pop out this time, because there we go. On the side of the head here, you can pop this section out, and then you can reconnect it, and then you can re-plug it in. Sorry, but they re-plug it in, so you can get that illusion where the headlights were actually folded in there. So, yeah, once again, I believe that's meant, according to the manual, this is actually used for the vehicle form. But once again, I would assume the mech form could also use it if you want to do so. So that's that. And then here we have the anchor wires. So you actually get these long, bendy wires. You get two of them. This is the straight format. So as I mentioned, and then here we have one I just kind of did something similar that was mentioned in the manual. This is the anchor wire. As the name implies, you would fire this to latch onto walls or ceilings so you can hang around or you can swing around areas. Because in the anime, the story-wise or background is that humans are living underground, as far as I understood it. So you have all these caves and caverns to go through to get into different areas. So which is why these type of equipment are very necessary. So I'll be demonstrating that later. And then here we have its sticker sheets. So actually here we have leftover parts. So this is just a repeat. This is the eye section here. So for the eyes, you get two options. You can either apply these two golden flat eyes, or they give you a second option where here they give you one of those how should I say this? The plastic round eyes, that something similar that you would see, kind of the same material that you would see in the Wing Gundam's chests on the old kits. On the HG 1/100 scale kits from the Wing series. So yeah, you do get those options. So obviously I went with the more roundish eyes going on here. So yeah, but if you don't like that, and if you want to go with flat eyes, you can always use those. And here is the sticker sheet. Nothing too bad actually. I used most of it. Here, this one I was testing out something else. I only used half of it. Here we have a lot of these gold stickers here. These are meant for like small tail lights. So 6 of them were already used for the headlights. There's one that's on the back, and then here we have very small ones, which I would assume they're also lights for the shoulders and feet area. So I'll try to point out where they're most supposed to go. And here we have number 11, which are silver stickers. I would assume these are meant for tail lights. So because if you look at the bottom of the kit, you have these sections right over here. Those silver stickers were supposed to be applied here, but once again, these being round surfaces, I did not feel like applying stickers. So yeah, just wanted to point that out. So other than that, every sticker is pretty unique. Alright, so let's get on to the review. So, structure-wise, actually, before we get on to the articulation, everybody always asks the question regarding the scale. How tall is it? Yada yada. How tall is it compared to a Gunpla? Yada yada. So keep in mind, Big Tony is a 1:72 scale kit. So if this were to be the same scale, which is with the HGU Seagems Sniper 2 being a 1:144 scale, the Big Tony would be much smaller in terms of height. So keep that in mind. And if you've seen the anime, the Big Tony isn't as huge as you think. It's a pretty small mech. So yeah, there's a huge difference here. Although I'm not sure if the scale would make sense, but still, who knows. So yeah, just want to point out, is comparing it with a typical 1:144 scale HUC Gunpla. Here is the size. So height-wise, they're kind of similar, but in terms of the design here, obviously the Big Tony is much wider. So yeah. Alright, so now let's get on to the articulation here. So, the main head slash body here. Yeah, this is the main body here. In the anime, I believe this top section would open up to reveal the cockpit inside. There will be a 2-pilot seat here. The father would sit on the bottom, and then the daughter would be sitting on the top there. Yeah. The main body, there's no ab crunch up going on since there's no abs. And then here we have the backpack right over here. So these backpacks have these thrusters going on here. You can move them around. You can actually kind of change their position because they are on this like hinge system right over here. So that's that. Now if you move the these rockets or boosters in a certain position, you are able to rotate the main body 360. I'm slightly forcing it, but 360 is possible. So that's that. And then looking at the shoulders, we have some of those golden stickers right over. Come on, camera. So here we have a golden sticker here, and then there's one on the side as well, and then I believe there's none on the back. So those are that. And then here are the round eye stickers I was talking about. So you can see they're kind of plastic, but you can see that they have these. They're slightly popping out from the section, so to give it a more eye-ish look going on here. So I think they made the right choice for using those type of stickers over there. Definitely liking it. And here I did give it extra some panel lining here on the bottom, and then on the top right over here. Those I did panel line. So yeah. Now the arm articulation is kind of interesting here. The way how the joints work are very, very unique. So number one, here we have the shoulder flap can go up, and then the arms can go forward like that, and then backwards like that. And then you can also you can also rotate this section right over here. You can rotate this 360. Now on this side, my left one is kind of stiff, but the right one is kind of less stiff. So yeah, just be careful about that. So yeah. And then here on the other section, this is a ball joint area, so you really can't go to the side 90 degrees, but you can go 360. But if you do want to go 90 degrees to the side, what you can do is you can rotate this 90 degrees, and then do this. You bend this section right over here, and then you can go 90 degrees to the side, but it's not really the ideal look. I'm just going to point that out. And another part is that this part here can also move up and down slightly a bit. So up and down is a little bit possible. So definitely a unique structure if you ask me. And then the arms can bend 90 degrees. Now they can't there is a slight rotation on the top section here. Let me just pop off the arm just for the sake of it. So the arms, there is a slight movement, but as you can see on the position, it's not the peg here, it's not going 90 degrees to the bottom right away. It's actually on an angle, so you need to know where you're moving the thing here. So you are able to go 360, but make sure you know where you're rotating the part here, or you're gonna break that peg. So yeah. And looking at the arm, here is a sticker, the white this is a common. This is not a 4-piece sticker. This thing here is a entire sticker sheet. So keep that in mind. So it gives out that nice white and blue line effect going on here. Here we have a thing here, which I would assume is a small detail where you can flip this open, and I would assume those are lights. So yeah, and then here we have the claw arm. You can open them up if you want to do so, and rotate them slightly as well. And yeah, nothing too special here. And when we have this piston gimmick here, you do have like a piston gimmick here, so that's that. Now, as you can see, these gray sections right over here are all stickers here. Now, on the other arm, I tried to color these parts with silver parts, but they weren't that easy. So, yeah, so I do suggest using the stickers might be an easier option, because once again, I guess this top section here might be a problem because they are on a round surface, but this bottom section here will be covered up by this part to some degree. So yeah, I guess it would also protect the stickers as long as you apply them correctly. So yeah. All right, so we've seen that now. Now let's get the main. Actually, let's just look at the backpack first. Now the backpack, for those who don't like it, you can always detach it if you want to do so. But I do like this backpack design because we don't really see these type of style of backpacks on mechs. Because obviously, like for Gunpla or Gundam, these are the type of backpack thrusters we get. But this one is just literally a whole traveler backpack going on here, so I think that was a pretty good design here. Now, I'm not really sure what they carry in this backpack in the anime. The only time we actually seen this open up was for a parachute, but other than that, I'm not really sure what else is inside here. So that's kind of a self-curious thing, but still, I say it's a nice touch. Now, looking at the legs here, yeah, the legs are definitely one of the interesting parts. So number one, the leg size here, these white sections here, these white lines are stickers. These are only applied on the front, there's nothing on the back, so kind of a odd choice, but once again, I can understand that because I guess making these parts color separated might have been a little bit tricky. And here we have more gold stickers here, and then we have them on the front of the feet. Now, for the legs, they can go forward as well and then backwards with no problem as well. And then here we have a action base connector on the bottom here. Now, the articulation on the legs are, depending on how you look at it, they could be pretty simple or they could be pretty good or just be very complicated. So, I'm just gonna pop out one right away. Here. Now, because the legs are on a ball joint here, the legs itself can... that was my bad. So as you just saw, the main connection here is a peg. Now the legs, because of the ball joint connection here, you do have for some reason you have a forward and backward movement. So that's a kind of interesting articulation if you ask me. Now the legs here. Here we have two tank treads connected, but the part that's actually holding the entire leg is this gray section here, this piece here. So as you can see, the leg here, the only part that's holding the leg is this connection, and then this gray section here, this mechanism, is the part that's actually holding these two tank treads from top and bottom here. So that's a interesting structure. So by basic articulation, you can get a nice bend going on here. You can get a decent bend, or what you can do is you can kind of extend this a little bit more to get an even more bend. Now, this is not really meant for the mech form. This is actually meant for the transformation aspect, so which is why we can these can be flapped open. But once again, the mech has no use for the flaps. So yeah, that's definitely an interesting gimmick if you ask me. And then the feet are also very unique. The feet were the parts that actually took me a while to get used to. So number one, the only part that's holding the feet is this connection here. This is a ball jointed connection right over here. Because it's a ball joint, you can also get a nice pivot action going on here. And then you can move it off. You can obviously move the feet down and up like that. But once again, you have to make sure that the flat surface is matching the ground, or it's not gonna the feet's not gonna really work well. So yeah, and then you can move the feet upwards and then downwards if you want to do so. We do have a slight piston-ish going gimmick here, but once again, that's more meant for the transformation to the vehicle form. And then obviously for the knees, they can flap up, and also these are one of those stickers. Alright, so we've seen the basics of the kit. Definitely has some interesting articulation, some aspects that we don't really see in Gunpla. Alright, so once again, I'll be right back with the demonstration of its equipment, and then after that, I'll show you guys how it looks like on its vehicle form. I won't be showing the process because it's I'm pretty sure that's going to make the video way too long. So I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So here we have the anchor wire action, and then on the other arm, the drill is out, and then I also slapped on the face mask over there. The face mask connection is pretty simple. All you need to do is just pretty much push it into the topward section like this. So here we have the without the mask, and then you just need to plug it in upwards, and then you're good to go. So that's a pretty simple connection here, and here we have the anchor wire effect part. So let me just get this on the right angle, sorry about that. So it's a pretty simple connection here. So what you're supposed to do is that you're supposed to slap this part out, and then obviously there reveals a peg here. There we go, reveals a peg. You slap this on here, and then you reconnect the armor part here to give that illusion where it pulled out from its arm and then it's firing. Alright, so that's pretty much it for the thing. So I'm pretty sure some of you guys are wondering who has not watched the anime. So does this thing not have any, like, you know, actual weapons like guns, lasers, missiles? Yeah, I'm gonna say no. The only thing we actually seen similar to those are when there was a specific scene where they had to light something up on fire with a thing here. So I believe they were able to pull out these grenade kind of things from the arms, but other than that, I don't think this thing actually had those type of typical conventional weapons. Alright, so the only thing left to show you guys is the vehicle form, so I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So here we have the vehicle form, and while it's not exactly perfectly well done, it's basically, I got the basics. You get the gist of it, how it's supposed to look like in vehicle form. So you can see the arms are folded back to the back side, and then here we have the thrusters moving like this. They can be repositioned into that, and then the most complicated part is basically you don't do much on the body other than the headlights, or it's basically you need to, for the legs it's very complicated, where you need to unfold the legs, you open them up and then refold a few parts and then unfold a few parts, and yeah, there's a lot of process going on here. So it was very difficult for me to do these perfectly, especially on the legs, but this is how it's supposed to look like. So in the anime, this form is used when it needs to move faster, and so yeah. So as much as I do like it, or at least I like the concept, because I always wanted to see especially in the Gundam universe where we have Gundams or mole suits that transforms into a Wave Rider. I always wanted to see one that a mole suit that transforms into like a tank or car type unit. The Loto doesn't count for me, by the way, so, but still, yeah. But other than that, I think for me personally, if I have to display this, I'll be displaying in the mech form, because I do like that design more than the vehicle form. Anyway, that's pretty much it. So the most difficult part in the transformation are the legs, but other than that, if you can master that, nothing else should be too hard to do so. Anyway, that's pretty much it for the review. This was the review of the 1-72 skill HG Big Tony from the anime Sakugan. If you guys got any questions or requests, you can comment below. I still have more stuff to buy and build and make reviews out, so please stay tuned. Until then, see you guys next time.